Still waiting for that perfect golden chance? Wake up! Years have already been wasted chasing comfort zones and daily dollars. AI's not waiting for anyone. It's sprinting ahead of us, faster, smarter, and sharper. In 10 years, it'll eat our jobs, our businesses, and definitely our excuses. Transformation, disruption, domination. Education re-engineered, property tokenized, communities reinvented. This is the decade of survival, and the One Real Tech is building the blueprint. Want growth? Get in. This is the decade where the average doer vanishes, but the bold ones, they build empires. No dependency, no pity party, no constraints, just freedom to create, to own, to flex, and to live louder than ever. This isn't some sci-fi film. This is now. The new reality, human with machine, vision with ownership. If we are not part of it, we are history. The next 10 years belong to the crazy ones, the doers. Stay in comfort and stay stuck, or get up and own the future. The choice is ours.
Well, good morning, everyone from Southwest Florida. As the video just stated, it's the bold ones, the crazy ones, the doers who are not staying into their comfort zones. They're stepping up to claim the future, and that's exactly what Holistic True Wealth is all about. Living louder than ever and claiming that future. I'm Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger, and that's an honorary doctorate for advocate on mental and financial well-being and leadership in life transformation, and I humbly received in September of 2024. So welcome to season 2026. I can't believe it's like almost half over to Holistic True Wealth. And before I actually get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, allowing us to get in front of more people to share our messages. And that's my message and my guest messages as well. And also don't forget to enter your questions or share your comments. We would love to hear from you. And we totally appreciate that. I'm truly excited to be here with you today, as always, in this season. I've really brought a very unique group of guests. The lineup this year has been really amazing. I'm truly blessed to have these individuals join me. And they're not just talking about change, but they're actually living it and sharing insights that can generally shift the direction of your life, as they have mine as well. And for my core, I believe every one of us deserves to live a life of abundance, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And as a certified holistic coach, I take a finance first approach to overall well-being, because whether we like it or not, finances, those financial stress impacts every other areas of our lives. And when we address that foundation, everything else begins to fall into place and really elevate. And we're living in a time of massive transformation, as many of us already know, and a complete shift in how we think, how we earn, how we live, and how we build our future. And we need to incorporate those as we move forward. And if you're feeling that, you're not alone. But this isn't something to fear. It's really something to step into. And this podcast is about more than just ideas. It's about real solutions and the paths that are working right now to help you go from just surviving to fully thriving. Because true wealth isn't just about money. It's about having the freedom, the tools, and the mindset to create that lifestyle that you want to live. So before I bring on my very, very special guest for today, we're going to take another short commercial break, and we will be right back.
What if property wasn't just bricks and walls, but pixels and blockchain too? The One Real Tech takes real estate digital and puts ownership right in your hands. Fractional ownership, real assets, blockchain trust. The future of property is here. And where does it all start? It starts with the One Real Tech, where you will learn how blockchain and real estate come together. One ecosystem, endless opportunities. Are you ready to step inside? From Harare to Abu Dhabi, and across the world, The One Realtech is connecting ideas, assets, and innovation, turning vision into value, dreams into ownership. The One Realtech. Own it, live it, trade it.
Okay, we are back, and my guest today is certainly no stranger to us at all. I'm honored to welcome back April Wyett, a somatic coach, meditation guide, a BBTRS practitioner. I'm like, what was that? So what that is a biodynamic breathwork and trauma release system practitioner. She's a retreat leader. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And host of Living with Intention live and podcast. So April really helps high capacity professionals strengthen their relationship with themselves so they can lead, create, and navigate change with greater clarity, confidence, and self-trust. Through her protection presence method, she supports people in moving beyond those survival patterns, which I talked about earlier today. And it supports those people moving beyond those survival patterns and into that sustainable success rooted in nervous system resilience, emotional intelligence, and intention. So please help me welcome to the Holistic True Wealth stage, April Wyett. Welcome.
Hello, Dr. Jeffrey. It's so good to be in the room with you again.
It's awesome to have you back on the stage. I'm really happy that you're here and you were able to squeeze me into your schedule because I know you're very, very busy. So before we actually get started, share a little bit about who April is outside of your illustrious career.
Who am I outside I don't even call it a career. It's more just a way of being. I just love connecting with others, with nature. We just finished a 4-year full-time RVing route, and we landed back in brick and mortar here in Iowa. And so I'm rebuilding community here, and it's just a beautiful place to be right now.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So let's dive in because you've got so much wisdom and value to share with the audience today. And so you talk about this. You say that high performance is not built through pushing harder, but it begins when the nervous system feels safe enough to slow down. So with that being said, what does that mean in real life for high capacity professionals along with leaders?
Yeah, that's a great question to start off with, because it might seem a little backwards, because most of us have been taught that we need to push harder or we need to complete this goal in order to succeed, right? This is the high performing professionals. And you know what? I've lived that way for decades. For decades, Jeffrey. I'm sure you can raise your hand to that too, right? And it's always looking for the doing. What do I need to do next? What do I have to fix? Who am I helping? I was always making sure that everybody else was okay.
Right.
But from outside, it looked like having everything together, but really inside my body was screaming for a chance to settle. And so I discovered that through the biodynamic breath work and trauma release system, as you described in my training. I didn't realize just how dysregulated I was. And so when we're constantly pushing, right, we lose access to that own innate wisdom that we all have. And we tend to react instead of respond. So when I allowed my body to settle, when I witnessed what was showing up for me and those patterns, then I could see it for what it was and make the choices, right, to shift from more of a protection and pushing to more of a present state. So that really actually helps to build more capacity in our nervous system.
You're absolutely correct with that, and that's what I discovered because I was a reactor. stress to 10 plus for decades. And then when I went through my own journey through holistic wellness and healing my gut and coming off of all those medications, rather than react to stress, I evaluated it. So instead of stepping into it, reacting, I stepped back and looked at the bigger picture. Why is this happening? What am I learning? What am I supposed to learn from it? What am I supposed to take away from it? And then also, what am I supposed to maybe help other people with? So that relatability is like totally right on, for sure. So many successful people are praised for adapting, carrying responsibility, and showing up for everyone else, which is what you just mentioned. And it was like, who am I going to make happy? And I don't want to I don't want to make anybody, I want to meet everything. I want to meet the demands and so on. And I got to the point where it's like, I can't please everybody. So at what point do those strengths actually become survival strategies that you've come across with not only yourself, but working with your clients?
Well, first I want to say that I don't think that our strengths are really the problem. Being, the strength of being responsible, of being dependable, adaptable, those are great qualities, really.
Okay.
But it's really about the invitation of what's driving them.
Oh, there
As
you
as you alluded to, am I saying yes because I genuinely want to, or is it feeling obligated? Am I saying yes because it's lightens me up and I feel very comfortable and confident in it, or is it that obligation? If I don't do this, then how are other people going to look at me? Or this is what the dynamics say I should do, type of thing. Because when we say yes to something, we're also saying no to something else. And most likely it's to ourselves.
Yeah, and I during my journey, I came to find out that I grew up as a baby boomer, and it was some of that was teachings from our parents, and being a good little boy and not causing any problems, and yes,
Yes,
yes, yes, yes, yes, and it's like,
exactly.
so it took decades to get over, but better later than never. So,
Yes.
but
And that protection, that got you to where you are, and it's very intelligent, right? We learn quickly. Our brains just adapt so quickly, and it helps us to navigate life.
yeah,
But the challenge for many of us, is to never realize that we can put some of those strategies down, that, it's not fulfilling us later on in life,
right.
and just recognizing it, like you just mentioned, not being the yes person anymore, making choices and setting those boundaries.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's about those boundaries. So, yeah. So thanks for that. So your protection presence method is really a powerful phrase. So, can you explain what protection looks like in someone's everyday life, leadership, or relationships?
Mm. Oh, this is one of the things I love witnessing, with moving from protection to presence. And actually, I just developed a recalibration experience, and I've been able to watch this group of phenomenal women that they actually recognize the patterns of protection in themselves. And some of the people even say, I didn't realize that I was always pushing. And it's others understanding that it's difficult to even accept support, right? By having that pattern, having that protection that's built into it's hardwired into our body. So someone else, realizing that they're constantly anticipating what's next, what's being present in front of them,
Right.
and no one told them that they were doing those things. They really discovered it themselves going through this recalibration experience. So that's what I mean about protection. It keeps us moving forward. It keeps us safe, right?
Right.
And although it is a pattern, and it's not always obvious, is it, Jeffrey? Because it's woven into the way that we've learned to move through life, and staying busy, the overthinking, again, taking care of everyone else, and being that person that holds everything together. That's the high capacity that I'm talking about. So the beautiful part is that without judgment, we recognize those patterns. We become aware of, oh, I'm feeling heightened right now. I'm feeling this knot in my stomach. This is the somatic part of it.
Right.
I'm feeling the tension in my shoulders, or I'm thinking about this meeting I need to go into, and I'm feeling like I say turtling, right? We're going into our shell, like, ooh, it doesn't feel comfortable. I feel that I have to protect myself. Just even recognizing that and naming it, so that way that sensation and emotion doesn't come part of who we are. We see it for what it is, and then we can address it in a different way with that awareness, and just shifting a little bit. Oh, this is
Right.
protection. What can I do right now to give myself a little support?
Awesome. And I think that we are our own worst critics, and until we can kind of step back from that, we can embrace more of that with more of an open mind, because we learn from those uncomfortable zones, and that's where we have to get in to be able to experience it, grow, and learn from it. So
Yes, it's
I
the
love that.
uncomfortableness. Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and that's where we learn about ourselves.
right. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with the infamous April Wyett. Okay, we are back, and I will talk a little bit about that little beautiful oasis that is in the Indian Ocean a little bit later before we close out. But I want to jump in real quick to talk about this BBTRS, and this your blend somatic coaching meditation, and this is what is referred to as a restorative practice. So
Mm.
with that, how do these approaches really help people reconnect with themselves beyond mindset alone? Because it's part of that bigger formula. You've got these little pieces of the formula. For me, it's that physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial. So talk about that for the viewers.
Yeah, thank you for asking that, Jeffrey, because it's so important that we understand that there's more to us than the doing, as we were alluding to in the beginning, right? The performance, the pushing. And when we bring all these approaches together, the biodynamic breath work, meditation, different restorative approaches, then we understand that information alone, like we can read so many health books, self-help books, watch so many YouTubes, but it doesn't create the transformation, right? Most of us already know what we should be doing,
Right.
yet the
Right.
missing piece is the experience. So our bodies have been with us the whole time. This amazing container that you have right now, I hope people just kind of look at their bodies right now and see how amazing it is. It's been with you in all of the experiences, and it carries your history, your habits, these patterns, and helped you move through the world. So when we include your body into the conversation, we begin to recognize that things couldn't, the thinking couldn't get you into your body. You have to experience that. So through the biodynamic breath work, it is a connected breath. It is being aware of how your body's moving with the breath. We invite movement and touch. We invite your own vocal sound. We invite all the senses in, because most of us are so up here that maybe we communicate just orally through the mouth or hands or however you communicate, but the rest of the body is here and it's also expressing. And this helps you to really reconnect with yourself. So from there, the change begins to be more sustainable, because then you're aware of your body, the sensations, as I mentioned before, going into a meeting or making a phone call or having a challenging conversation with someone, and stepping back and asking yourself, okay, I can take a breath right now. I'm witnessing what is showing up for me. My body is saying, I'm becoming prepared, instead of labeling it as anxiety or overwhelm. It's just your body being prepared. Or maybe it's the opposite. It's total shutdown because of the pushing all the time mentally. Doesn't have to be physically.
Exactly.
Because people say, oh boy, I feel like I ran a marathon and I didn't get off the couch. I just want to be honest here. So really bringing it back to, how can I be in this container very gently for those who are able to access their bodies? And I've worked with people who aren't, because their body isn't safe because of the trauma. So we start from the outside and we work ourselves in very gradually, very easily to where, oh, now I notice the sensations. Now I can start to trust and lean into myself. So that's why I bring all these components together, because somatically, we need to be here in our body. This is what keeps us on the earth, really. We're born with these bodies for a reason, and
right.
so that's
And I don't think that we're really taught at an early age on the beauty of what we have, and that we should start at a young age in order for us to, really participate and take advantage of that. So I think this is going to lead right into this Bali retreat, the restorative retreat in Bali that you're having in October. So can you talk a little bit about this?
Oh, of course. And I want to just say also that it's really about building a relationship with ourselves. As you said, Dr. Jeffrey, about we need to learn this at an early age. We need to know that we have the ability, that we are fully capable.
Right.
And this is the relationship we're building with ourselves. And as we do that, then that ripples out to other people. You can feel it when somebody walks in the room, whether they are present or reactionary. Literally, they don't have to say anything. You can really sense it. So just being curious, that's the key too of all of this. I invite curiosity, and just lean in and listen a little more. And that's where Bali comes in. So it's one of the places that I get to bring all of these into my life experience during this Bali retreat, which is October 10th through the 17th. And I say, it's a place to pause, so that way we can rise above the noise, because there's so much happening in our lives and around the world.
That's for sure.
And so many high capacity people have forgotten what it feels like to simply be with themselves. So Bali isn't about escaping your life. I'm not saying to do that, but it's really creating enough space to reconnect with yourself, so that way you can return with greater clarity and steadiness and really intention of how you want to move forward in life. Um, it's just a beautiful space to northern shore of Bali there, and it's serene. It's just, yeah. Go to my website. The information will be there. All that and
And
more about
the
Bali.
website link is below in the scrolling banner there.
Yep.
And how many spots? You said there's still
livingwithintention.co
a couple
Bali.
more spots left, right?
Yes, I have 2 more spots left. And for those who are tired of weekend retreats, feeling a little bit of lightness, and then 2 weeks later you feel like you're back in that pattern again, this is the shift for you. If you can see yourself in Bali, you're halfway there. That's what I say.
Yeah, that would be a very short weekend retreat going to Bali, especially from the States.
It's an adventure.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And we want to talk real quick about the Kindness Worldwide Global
Oh,
Meditation.
yes.
Talk about this.
Yes, so I'd love to invite another opportunity to experience kind of the same intention of what I bring forward. And Samantha Bergdahl and I, Eco Sam, are offering this Kindness Worldwide meditation. And the next one is September 27th, as we just had it this last weekend. And it's a free online experience. And it's what we've been witnessing is people from around the world have come together for
Awesome.
this space to pause, and not only for themselves, but to send kindness out to the world and receive kindness back. And we're also part of the Kindness Worldwide movement started by Kevin Smith and his mission to expand kindness across the globe. So that QR code there, if you want to scan that, it'll take you right to Samantha's website, and you can actually choose which meditations you want to participate in. Some of them are in the morning and some of them are in the evening, because we want this accessible to people around the world.
Awesome. Well, that's great. That is absolutely fantastic. And I've got to sign up for one of those. As soon as I launch my book, I'll be on one of those meditation
I hope so.
with you. So as we're kind of wrapping up here, coming up to the half hour here, I do want to mention that I am August 17th is my pre-launch, and then August 22nd is the launch of my book, which is called The Money Shift. And it is a family roadmap for thriving in the digital age. And I'm really excited about this. It's been a laborious, a project for me, especially after years of being a contributing writer and just submitting, I shouldn't say just, I don't like the word just, submitting one chapter to an anthology or to a magazine, so on and so on, and to write a whole book, it was like, oh my gosh, what am I getting into?
You were birthing a new thing.
Exactly. And what I love about this, it's more of a parent's guide to those who are realizing we are in a paradigm shift, and it's about understanding what that paradigm shift is and sitting down with your children, because your children are going to be living a completely different world in 10 to 20 years from now. And this is more of a guide to really sit down together and work through that, because I know that when I was young, we didn't have those kinds of conversations at the kitchen table. And I encourage people to take a look at the description of the book and what it has to offer. And if it resonates, great, grab it, because there is a complimentary workbook with it. And hopefully you'll learn from that. And then last here is that video that I showed about that island resort. This is about fractional ownership. It's different ways of looking at the future and owning property and getting involved with blockchain technology projects. And this QR code is basically a code that will take you to a 20-minute presentation and just talk about what this property is and what is available to those individuals who are interested in taking a look at potentially diversifying their portfolios, because we are in that changing world, because technology is changing real estate tech, financial tech, educational tech, AI, and the metaverse. April, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time today and joining me for a second time, and really appreciate the wisdom that you bring to the audience and to all over. And doing these retreats, I do have it on my bucket list to get to one of your retreats in
You'll
Bali.
make it one of these times,
You
Jeffrey.
do it every
No
year,
worries.
right, to Bali?
Yeah, every other year I choose
Oh,
a
Japan.
destination. So Bali's been a second time here, but
Got
I
it.
also want to say, I just want to shout out for you and everything that you do, Jeffrey, because you are an amazing human. And I am also an investor in real estate through you with Zanzibar, with the resort there. So my 2028 is to host a retreat in Egypt and then just take a hop over to Tanzania because I have friends now that live there.
There you go.
And then it's just a little hop over to Zanzibar from there. So
Zanzibar.
I'll be able to experience the retreat that or resort, I should say, that I invested in. So definitely, Dr. Jeffrey is who he
Awesome.
is. Check out that book. I'm so excited for you, friend. And
Thank you so
that's a
much.
legacy, right? We're leaving a
Yes.
legacy,
Yeah,
and it's so
absolutely.
important.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the inside next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, it's Jeff, your digital currency strategist. What if technology wasn't just something you used, but something you experienced? Welcome to the world of real tech, fintech, edtech, AI, and the metaverse, designed with intention. We're building 5 digital continents, each with its own unique user experience. 2 are already live and the others are coming soon. This isn't hype. This is infrastructure, your education or ownership. Stay tuned, because I'll be taking you inside the Meta, one ILM Versity, and our Zanzibar Hotel and Resorts property, where innovation meets real world impact. The future isn't coming, it's being built right now. Won't you join us?